Hi, Meta. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Pretty good. So I binge watched like all of 1 through 7 in like a day. So I'm super
Wow.
invested. But what I
Okay.
noticed is that Hailey doesn't seem to be missing her old life at all. Like Ed immediately checks on his wife, and Hailey kind of checked on her money. That's all. Why do you think she doesn't really miss her old life at all?
I love that. I love this question. I love this question. Because I think that even as much as at the beginning of the series, I think she's trying to live like this idea of what her best life is. She has just kind of ran away from her old life and has started working as a nonprofit do-gooder, but she has money in the bank and is going like, oh, I always wanted to give back and now I'm doing it. But in reality, I mean, it's very telling is that this life, even though it's super dangerous and the stakes are really high, but in that she's kind of getting to be her true self because she is really good at taking risks, really good at kind of being an operative. She's reluctantly finding herself in a relationship with a man that she really doesn't want to be with, but like it's all it's like I think that she's feeling more alive, and even though her life could end at any moment, but I think when you look at people who are kind of in this world, they are high stakes, high adrenaline type people. But I love that question. I'm glad you picked up on that.
Yes. Speaking of her taking more risk, it seems like Hailey has kind of decided that, or is taking a bit more of a leadership role and more risk because she's realized that Weir is not reliable with his whole rabbit hole thing, that he does not
Yeah.
have a grasp of reality and is not really going to be the person that this group can count on because he doesn't even really know what today is. Is that the reason she's taking the leadership role, or do you think it's also because she just naturally feels great at this?
I think I think it's more, well, she doesn't trust Ben, right?
Mhm,
I mean, he's been wanting to kill her since he met her.
mhm.
And he's who he is. But I also think that she's a survivor and really adept at reading people. And at this point is close enough to Weir to be able to recognize that he's not all there. And also within this, which I think is really great, is that she just starts to tune into just her guttural instincts, her knowing, because she's gotten pretty far and she's done some on her own, and she's been able to become a million. I mean, granted, she did steal, but she starts to just believe in her own judgment and just it's not like she's not a second guesser, she just does. And that's just what happens.
Yes. What is her relationship with Weir? Because it was kind of just supposed to be a one night stand and they've kissed again, but she was pretty trusting of him in the beginning. She didn't trust Ben, but she was semi okay being with him and kind of trusted that he had her best interests at heart until he asked her the money. Why was she so trusting of him?
Well, I mean, I don't know that she's so I mean, from my perspective, it's a gradual trust. It's just that she's got, some pretty heavy people chasing her. So I think she just decides that she's better off with this guy than she is out there with people trying to, like, in the second episode, they tried to kidnap her. So for whatever reason, she and I think this is like ultimately what connects them, is that, you know they recognize, like, you know, when you meet somebody and even though you have no business trusting them, but you're like, I know who that person is and they see me. I think that's what happens with these two weird people characters. They just kind of like game recognizes game, kind of.
Yeah, that definitely explains their attraction the way I didn't think of. That's amazing. But thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me today. I would love to talk more about this in your future projects as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Talk to you soon. Thank you.